Okay, we are back with a part 3 of this Royal Storytime Royal Prophetic Message. Okay. So we left off by basically talking about how dark witches, dark warlocks, dark high priestesses, whatever you want, whatever terminology rolls with it. Okay, like to swap essences, swap energy harvest, swap destinies, right, and so on and so forth. So this is why you see a lot of dark bloodlines with luxury. They done stole it. Somebody in their bloodline started energy harvesting off another bloodline who was rightfully supposed to have the empire, the divine inheritance, and somebody that found out, or they see their royalty and so on and so forth, their anointing, and they want it for themselves, right, out of jealousy, and they start trying to siphon it themselves so that they can get it, right? And that's what happened too. Like, this person got jealous and envious. They felt like I hadn't suffered enough, or suffered, because they suffered all their life. I'm gonna be honest, my roommate, she suffered almost all her life. She had a horrible childhood. Horrible. It was bad. It was terrible, right? And then she treated people nasty all her life. And so, because she treated people nasty all her life, she kept getting more bad karma for the people that she kept treating nasty. And so, if she wasn't understanding, like, hey, it's your badass behaviors that keeps you in this desolate place that you don't want to be in. And so, instead of you keep getting with somebody to siphon their money and their glory and their birthright and stuff like that, why don't you actually heal so you can get the shit on your own? And at a point in time, that started to happen. I'm still finding out different pieces to the pie. But I was guided to share these parts here because I'm not the only one that's going through this situation. Other royal bloodlines, empires, those of really well-known and respected lineages, y'all have a similar issue, basically, in a nutshell. Somebody in your bloodline became friends with or got with somebody or knew of somebody who knew of you and yours, and fell in love with y'all anointing, fell in love with y'all lifestyle, and whatever the case may be. And it's one thing for a person to be inspired and admired, and it was jealousy and envy. And I'll even go as far as to say, because listen, I'm the queen of shadow work. Even if a person does have feelings of emotion like jealousy and envy, you can still transmute that in a way where it's healthy for you. So let me give an example, because hey, I ain't perfect. I've been jealous and envious before. What did I do? I didn't take it out on the other person or people, because what they got to do with them? I asked God, or I sat down with myself and said, okay, what do I need to do? What work do I need to put in order to achieve said whatever thing for myself? Not, okay, what can I do to siphon the energy from somebody? What can I go steal their blessing? I wouldn't want somebody to steal my blessing, so why would I do that to somebody else? Right? And again, don't get me wrong. I got bullshit. I got shit that stinks. I also have like a line that I don't want to cross, because I wouldn't want somebody to cross that line with me. And then let's say, because again, nobody's perfect. If I do cross the line, I ain't too prideful enough to say I'm sorry. I'm not too prideful enough to right my wrongs. Hell, on this healing journey, certain people, and I started doing this, back. I'll just reach out to people like, hey, remember this? I'm sorry. Hey, remember that? Or I can't do this anymore. Or, hey, you got this going on, so I'm being guided. I'm sorry, I can't stick around. You gotta do what you gotta do. And I'm not saying that you listen. If I just told everybody the things that I do that I don't want to do, but I do because I gotta get it out the way, or whatever the case may be. Like, man, right? Looks can be deceiving. And that was one of the things that my roommate did. She underestimated me because of how I look. Oh, I don't look like I come from the struggle. And my thing is this. you know. So for some of you guys, you're dealing with someone, they didn't respect you, they didn't appreciate you, they weren't grateful for you, they didn't see you as the gift that you were. They mistreated you in some way, shape, or form. Okay. And so with that, I'm hearing because they saw in you what they didn't see within themselves. But just because my roommate couldn't see in her what she saw within me doesn't mean that it wasn't there, or doesn't mean that she couldn't take what the seed that could have been planted, or the little that was there, and amplify that. You know, the person has to want to hear. You can lead the horse to water, but you cannot make them drink. Especially if they're going to continue to swap stories and lie, and that's the stuff that they doing right out of malicious intent. So for some of you guys, whoever did this, they did this out of malicious intent. Okay, because I'm hearing because they wanted your life. They wanted your life in some cases. In other cases, they wanted you. Okay, like if you ain't with them, you can't be with nobody else. They don't want you to be with nobody else. In some cases, it's a combination for the both of you. Okay, in some cases, this is a platonic friend, a family member that, may not appear to be doing as well as you, and they, decided to do X, Y, and Z. It's going to be a little bit similar in the story, with it's going to be some differences in yours, right? And so with that being said, this person that I'm talking about is 2025, and I'm telling you, this stuff went down in like 2021. They still come to spiritually rape and molest me, because this is one of the ways that they like to steal money from me. They like to steal my energy, right? And they're not the only ones that's been doing it. So I also want to put that out there, okay? But they have been a big part, and they played a big part in allowing others to rape and molest me too, unbeknownst to me. And so I've been having to fight and fight and fight and fight and fight, and boy, has it been a battle. And then I'm fighting somebody over who's trying to take my birthright and the good juju that I planted, because they pissed off that they didn't do what they needed to do for themselves. It's misplaced anger, and it's misplaced blame, and it's lack of accountability and responsibility. Right? And so there's more to this story. Oh, so before I continue, basically, for my royal bloodlines, respected bloodlines, and lineages, you have bloodlines karmic-y bloodlines out there that has your money, your status, because they stole it spiritually. And people like to play in the spirit because they feel like they can keep their hands clean in the physical. Right? Wrong. That's exactly why I've been opened up several cases in spiritual headquarters, and a verdict has pretty much been in. This is just my cherry on top. Well, some of you guys, you need to do this. You need to open up a case of divine headquarters, and you need to call judgment. Especially if you planted more good seeds than not, you need to call judgment. Okay? And call judgment on yourself. Okay? Because if you've been planting more good seeds than not, you can take that. You can handle that. Okay? Dang, I know I need to charge my phone. But anywho, and so with that being said, you need to take your energy back from the bloodlines that's not supposed to have it. You have people out here, bloodlines out here, that's living basically your lifestyle, and you living their lifestyle, and you need to take your energy back and give them their energy back. Okay? Yeah. You need to go get you some Akashic record clearings. You need to go get some Reiki clearings. You need to go get yourself a candle, and you need to go send that shit the fuck back. Okay? Because as long as they're stealing, they will always be in the wrong, and they will always get the worst karma. As long as you're cleansing, clearing, and protecting yourself with the Lord, and, being guided to do, different things that he tells you to use, prayers, cleansing baths and showers and, candles and so on and so forth. Hey, God will guide you to the different, because even God used the elements, right? Well, God will show you how he feels is good for you to use, for you to fight back. Okay? You don't fight black magic with black magic. You fight black magic with white magic. And if you know your spiritual ranking and you know you a spiritual assassin, you a spiritual judge, you a spiritual lawyer, you a deaf, you probably like the Grim Reaper, like a death duel and stuff like that. You better pull every ranking you motherfucking got. Because you have that allows you to do everything that you can do in the spirit. And as above, so below. Take your life back. Oh, and make sure you say spare the innocent. Because the innocent should not have to go down for stuff that they had no idea their family members or friends were doing. Because there's been innocent people that had suffered the consequences of those that have been doing this energy harvesting, destiny swapping, and stuff like that. And they don't deserve that. They don't deserve that. So free will, right? And so, take your stuff back. We don't care. They're gonna have to live they're gonna have to live out. They're gonna serve their karmic debt. They're gonna have to do what they're gonna have to do because they should have never stole from you to begin with, and they're gonna have to pay the whole sentence out. So if they kept stealing from you lifetimes after lifetimes, whether they knew this or not, but they soul remembers, then they're gonna have to pay back lifetimes after lifetimes. In fact, let me say this too: the person that's tried to tamper with my divine inheritance and tried to swap destinies and all the rest of that, she did this before in a past lifetime. Okay? She's tried this before in a past lifetime. Regardless if she was male or female. This the lifetime is not happening. Okay? So for y'all, this ain't the first lifetime that this has happened. But this is the lifetime that you're going to put your foot on it. And get every drop back. Get every drop back. We don't care if they got to be in the streets. We don't care if they got to shine shoes. We don't care. Because they didn't care about the life we were living. And it's not about a tit for tat. God is going to get eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. It's about what's fair. It's about what's just. And when they come and they asking for mercy and asking for forgiveness, you can forgive without reconciling. And forgiveness does not mean that you condone. And when God serves them their karma on a gold royal platter, since they wanted to be royalty so bad and tried to steal it from somebody else instead of rightfully earning it like everybody else, they're going to get this karma served on a gold platter. And they're going to serve every last drop. And that's part of the reason why my roommate in this lifetime childhood was so bad. She couldn't control her urges in the past lifetime. She treated people and me like shit. And in this lifetime, she was supposed to heal that. So everything that she did to everybody in the past lifetime was done to her in her childhood. So she could pay that karma back. Okay? It didn't make it right because I'm still pissed off at her caregivers for not paying attention to being a parent. I mean, my roommate didn't know what a lick of love was. Not real love, not God's love. She knew what she knew what conditioned love was. Because her whole family, they act off conditioned love. And I was proud of her because for a second, right? But they, kept hearing us. She chose the wrong side or da-da-da-da. But intentionally. And now, again, since the grass isn't greener, so for some of you guys, somebody might be trying to come back. And this is being recorded during a Mercury retrograde and a Venus retrograde. Okay? So if you're watching this some years from now, okay, because this is timeless, whenever you're coming across this, just apply those energies, and, factor it into when you're seeing it, okay? And do not take anybody back during a Venus Mercury retrograde type energy, because the energy for as I'm saying it, the energy is like influencing as an influence. So if you don't have to make any important decisions like that, with anything for that matter that's important, try to wait until after the retrogrades. It's particularly even after the post energy too. Of course, if you have an emergency, handle your business, right? Yeah, so, oh, it looks like it's going to be a part 4. So, yeah, but just letting you know, like, the entitlement, these bloodlines have been having entitlement over our stuff. And this is whether or not they know that their ancestor tribe, did the destiny swap or did the deal with the devil or did. They may not know. That's why I said spare the innocent. But for those that do know, yeah, they listen. Those that do know, oh baby, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. I'm hearing yes, order is being restored, and people are waking up. That's why you cannot take, because adversities are a part of life. But this is why you have to be mindful of the type of adversities you take. If you know you have a lot of karmic debt, then hey. But that's not everybody's case. And even serving, like, even doing breaking generational curses, like, still, it's not supposed to be this bad, right? When you have an ailment, when you have, like, for example, when you have a migraine and your period isn't coming, right? It's not during, like, the week of the PMS, or even still, you can get something sent to you even during that week, too. I've had it happen. I've had it happen even on my cycle. I don't care if it's TMI. I'm spilling all the tea because it's important. And so, basically, you don't take that migraine as, oh, I just got something. Now, don't get me wrong. We do have to balance spirituality with practicality. So, if you ate some food that was bad, okay? You ate some food that kind of disagreed with your stomach, okay? But now, a lot more than not, it's because somebody sent you a hex, or somebody sent you a curse, somebody sent you a jinx, somebody sent you some sort of black magic, right? And the entity has to put implants, hooks, right? They gotta put these these imprints and so on and so forth, programs to start activating in you, to start activating whatever the hex or curses that whoever is trying to send it to you is trying to do. So, for example, somebody's trying to cipher money or beauty from you. Then the entity in the spirit is going to try to get you to eat something or try to get you to feel or do something so it can open up a portal in you or try to latch to you or make you more sensitive so it can, like, latch onto you or whatever the case may be, right? As an entity attachment and try to monitor you or whatever the case may be. And that's another thing too. My roommate, she wrongfully monitors me. I barely get any type of privacy. And yes, I have heavy protection. God has allowed me to go through a lot of this stuff, so I can bring a lot of this information to you as a form of education, because this has been happening to a lot of people in society. He's allowed it to happen for training purposes, learning purposes, growing. Yeah. It still sucked though. And so, oh, part 2. Let's do a part 2. I mean, no, not part 2. Part 4. Stay tuned for part 4.